The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, this is Lori Keith with Romantic Planet Vacations, and thank you for joining us with our webinar on Punta Cana in regards to honeymoons and destination weddings. So we'll get started here. Basically, let's start off with the basics of geography. Where is the Dominican Republic? Of course, it's located in the Caribbean. It's centrally located. It does share the island with Haiti, but it is far different from the country of Haiti. Here we have the area of Punta Cana, which will be our focus on this presentation. Punta Cana is on the east coast of Dominican Republic, the farthest east part of the country. The other areas that are popular for tourism would be Puerto Plata on the north coast of the Dominican Republic, as well as La Romana, which is in this southeast part, as well as Samana in this area here, which has some great properties as well. Further down is Santo Domingo, which is the capital of the country, and this is where you'll find a lot of the history of the country. Because Dominican Republic was one of the first countries for Christopher Columbus's first trip to the New World, we have here the very first cathedral of the New World, the very first university of the New World, so quite a lot of richness in history. But again, we'll focus our efforts on Punta Cana and honeymoons and destination weddings. So about the Dominican Republic, what really stands out between the Dominican Republic and other countries is its culture, its life. Merengue, salsa, bachata music, and dancing, of course the Spanish language. It's rated as having some of the best beaches in the world, and we have direct flights from all across Canada into Punta Cana and Puerto Plata, and there are affordable all-inclusive packages, one of the most affordable all-inclusive packages from Canada, and like I had mentioned, really rich in the history. Punta Cana, the main point of interest here is actually the beach. So that's natural white sand beach with a very turquoise Caribbean waters. So this is very typical of Punta Cana, with the palm trees growing right out of the sand and the white beach, very calm waters, almost bath-like waters. And here's a shot of the beach in its typical portrayal of it. Because it's rated one of the best beaches in the world, it does attract a lot of beach combers, I guess you would call them. And so it can get pretty popular, especially during the busy months of like Christmas and Easter, which is called Semana Santa, where both the locals head from the interior of the land to the beaches as well and have their vacation. This is its height. So this is called the Playa Bavaro in other pronunciations, which when it can be very busy, it can be very busy. So consider this when you're thinking of a beach wedding, because Bavaro Beach is because it's one of the best beaches in the world, it's also one of the more popular beaches. And all beaches in the Dominican Republic are public, so unfortunately the resorts cannot section off a section for your wedding. So that's something to consider. The other thing here, and which to point out, if you really do have your heart set out on a beach wedding, then I would suggest some resorts that are a little further away from the hub of the activity. So as I mentioned, Bavaro Beach, which is this area here, and I'm just going to highlight. Bavaro is this area here. So the main properties, the first properties in the area were built in this area. If you get a little further north, like Arena Gorda, the beach tends to be a little less busy. And then if you head a little even more north to Uvero Alto, the beaches are definitely a lot less busy. So if you're considering a beach wedding, I would personally recommend looking at the properties that are maybe outside of the main hub. These are all the resorts that we like to highlight for a honeymoon or destination wedding. So in the Bavaro area, the Occidental, Paradisus, the Ocean, Malia, and the Barcelo. These are all ideal properties for both honeymoons and weddings, and we'll touch base on them a little more. Further north, you have the RIU Resorts, the Gran Bahia, and the Majestic. And then a little more north in the Uvero Alto area, the Serenas, Secrets Excellence, which is an adults only, great for honeymooners. And the Dreams Resort as well is located up north here. The highlights of Punta Cana, well, we definitely have great golf courses here. Again, the beach, absolutely fabulous. And because you have your Caribbean Sea, the snorkeling and diving is excellent. However, Punta Cana was developed just as a resort town. So the resorts, it's difficult to really immerse yourself in the culture in this area of the country. I actually used to live in Dominican Republic for a couple of years on the north coast, and if you wanted to experience more of the culture, then I would suggest other areas, getting closer to Santo Domingo, for example, Samana, or in the north coast, Puerto Plata, when you can just walk outside your front doorsteps and be right in the culture. Punta Cana, however, is a good at least a half an hour away from the nearest town. The city is Higüey, and it's a beautiful city. There's the cathedral picture at the bottom. It's a nice day trip to go out and see the culture. Most of the staff that work in Punta Cana actually travel from Higüey to Punta Cana. All right, so moving on, we'll dive into the resorts that we best recommend for honeymoons and weddings. Of course, we can't touch on all of them in this webinar, but hopefully this will help you narrow down the search. And of course, we're available for questions after as well. So the Barcelo properties, this is basically a complex of a few properties all in one. In the main, right on the beach, the yellow strip represents our beach, so the Barcelo Caribe, Barcelo Beach, Barcelo Palace, and then back on the property we have Barcelo Golf. It's a massive area, massive property, which includes a golf course, casino, disco, mini golf, shopping plaza, a conference, and actually a wedding chapel that's located right over, beautiful chapel overlooking the lake. Now, the Barcelo has just done a massive renovations in the last couple of years. So in fact, I think they've even changed some of the names of these properties, but it gives you the same idea that there is four. It is the very first hotel that was built on the beach here in Punta Cana. Punta Cana was developed by some American investors, and they bought all this land and then built the Barcelo as the first property. They do have a stay and play program, so if you, for example, stayed at the Barcelo Beach, you can play at the other properties as well. So that's the big highlight here, is that instead you have up to 20 restaurants instead of your typical 4 or 5. And then you can explore and have that opportunity to visit other properties as well. The Barcelo Palace is their high-end product, so it's the 5-star property. If you stay there, you can visit all other properties, but those who are staying at the other ones cannot go into the Barcelo Palace. The food is basic here, basic fare, your all-inclusives. I like their pizzeria. Huge conference facility, so definitely if you're looking for a banquet hall, for example, if you have a huge wedding, they can definitely accommodate you. And very expensive grounds, beautiful swimming pools, and a brand new kids water park. Here are some shots that I took when I was staying at the Barcelo Palace. And again, this is pre-renovations. Here's a garden wedding gazebo, so nice and private if you wanted to get away from the beach. This is a shot I took of the chapel that overlooks the lake. In fact, the back wall of the chapel here doesn't exist, so all you see is the beauty of the palm trees and the lake. So a great consideration for example, a Catholic ceremony. Here's a shot I took from standing from the pier of the actual beach at the Barcelo property. So you can see it's very expansive, but there are some crowds. And these are shots of the new rooms, the water park, the swimming pool, and the kids club. Moving on, we'll talk about the Gran Palladium Resort. This is also a complex resort, which means there's more resorts in one area. So in this case, we have 4 resorts in one: Punta Cana, the Bavaro, the Palace, and the Royal Suites, which is the adults only. The honeymoon suite is gorgeous. It has an outdoor shower. It's very romantic. The highlight here as well is they have the Renova Spa, which is rated one of the best spas. January is the most popular month for weddings, so they actually average about 3 a day, but because their grounds are so expansive, it's not like the bride will see each other. 80% of the visitors here are actually Canadians. So they'll try to do whatever it takes for your group wedding as well and keep you all together. A reception dinner here can be in an a la carte restaurant right on the beachfront. The quality of this map isn't that good, but I just wanted to show you an idea of how expansive the area is. So the Royal Suites is a very small boutique style section on the right hand side. The Grand Palladium Palace, mid-range, and Punta Cana would be your middle of all the properties here. And then the Bavaro is your largest section of the resort. And here's some shots of the Grand Palladium. So the rooms are very clean, very basic. Many have the in-suite jacuzzi. Beautiful beach, of course. They also have a gorgeous wedding gazebo and very lush and expansive grounds. Moving on, we have the Gran Bahia Resort. This is also a complex, so made up of 4 resorts all in one. The Club Diamond is close to the Italian restaurant and the beach. Right to that is the Bavaro, so Gran Bahia Bavaro Resort, and the Gran Bahia Punta Cana Resort, and the Gran Bahia Amber Resort, which is the new adult-only section. They have a gorgeous wedding gazebo. They do have a busy beach as well, but the Amber section is private. So they do actually set it back onto the grounds of the property and basically add more sand to the actual property line, making it a more private beach. It's very, very large and a busy pool. The pools here are the focal point of this resort. So as you can see here from the rooms, they're basic rooms, categorized as 4, 4.5 star. We've had many, many wedding groups here, especially in the gazebo on the bottom right-hand side. They have gorgeous gazebos that can accommodate many in the gazebo as well as outside the gazebo. As you can see, the very expansive beach as well. Moving on, we have the RIU properties. RIUs are very popular for wedding groups as well for honeymooners. They are all-inclusive resorts, and I'm just going to focus on a couple here. For example, the RIU Palace. Anytime you see RIU and Palace together, that means it's their 5-star product line. And their Palace properties really reflect or emulate a real palace that you would see in such as Europe. So if you're a bride or groom that want that luxury experience, that elegant experience, then definitely consider a RIU Palace. It's those crystal chandeliers, murals on the walls, etc. This particular one is 15 years old, but of course renovated regularly. All RIU rooms, I would say, are very, very standard. So if you're used to a little more, then I would recommend upgrading your room for not too much more, maybe $100 more, and you have a much nicer room. This suite, for example, is quite larger. 2 balconies, pool view, somewhat of an ocean view. And their beach weddings here are absolutely beautiful. They do archways, etc., but there are no gazebos on this particular grounds. And no kids club on this particular property. However, it is within walking distance at the RIU Bamba. And there is no adult-only section in this particular property. And this is just to give you a little idea of what it looks like. So as I mentioned, a palace feel. So they have this U-shaped or H-shaped layout. Nice rooms, beautiful beaches. And again, this map is to show you the RIU resort complex as well. So you have your Hotel RIU Maleo, Navos, Tanos, Palace Macao, and the RIU Mambu as well. So here's one resort by itself, one resort by itself. The palace is in the middle here, and one resort by itself. This is my favorite of all the RIU properties. This is the RIU Palace Punta Cana. It's the newest and nicest, just a few years old. Incredible, again, palatial feel, huge, massive driveway, so very inviting as you first arrive. They have the nicest, one of the nicest gazebos that I've seen. The suite is much better here as well than the standard room. And they also have many more upgraded rooms available as well. The grounds here are absolutely stunning. Beautiful beach, a little breezy, wavy because it's a little more north than the main hub of Punta Cana. But I just absolutely love the resort layout here. And it's a medium-sized property, a little larger than others, about 612 rooms. And this is that feel, that very palatial palace feel. This is that gazebo, so you still get the background of the ocean, but you're set back onto the ground, so a little more private setting than having it right on the beach. So that's something to consider again. Again, this is your lobby, palatial feel, stained glass windows, crystal chandeliers, etc. Okay, moving on to a totally different feel of a resort, the Ocean Blue property. I had such a excellent feeling staying here. It's very quaint, friendly. You feel almost like you're at home. Very clean, cheerful colors. Here we have 2 resorts. They're exactly the same. One is the Ocean Blue on one side and one is called the Ocean Sand on the other. They're exactly the same. They have one of the best coffee houses in all of Punta Cana. It's like a Starbucks in a way, but their own brand. And it's all included. So you just walk down every morning and have your fancy coffee and read your newspaper, etc. There's a incredible great European piazza here, and where they bring actual locals in to sell their souvenirs and their wares. So it's fun to just roam around there and feel almost like you're in Europe. I love their honeymoon suite. It's 2 levels, all white with the 4-poster beds, outdoor shower, incredible views of the ocean, and that's highly recommended for the bride and groom. Here's just give you a little idea of what the Ocean Blue looks like. And these are the rooms. The beaches are beautiful, and that's the coffee shop on the right-hand side. The food quality here is exceptional. So I highly recommend this property for those wedding groups that are looking for quaintness, the friendly service where the staff know you by name, and their packages here are excellent as well. The left-hand side is that honeymoon suite, and they actually have their own bowling alley on site. So fun for the whole family and friends. Moving on, we have the Paradisus Punta Cana. This property is a 5-star luxury resort. It is has that traditional elegance. It's incredible facilities, very tastefully designed. For example, they have the swing chairs in the hallways, etc. The service is impeccable. They're the kind of resort that you just get that added service levels when you arrive off of a long flight and you're tired. They refresh you with a great greeting and a cold drink. It is expansive property where they do have a train trolley that will take you to all the different sections. I absolutely love their beachfront gazebo here and would definitely consider the wedding here because, again, it's more private but still overlooks the gorgeous turquoise of the sea. The beach here is absolutely stunning, gorgeous white, and because they're also located more north, it's more private than the Bavaro busy beach. All restaurants here are in the central area, so many choices. If whatever you feel like that evening, whether it's sushi or Italian or your local food, you just go to the main hub and select your restaurant. The reserve is this is a unique property that they actually just built in the last few years. It is a boutique hotel within this resort. So those staying outside of this boutique hotel cannot enter it, but if you're staying at the reserve, you can utilize the benefits of the reserve, but still walk outside of this property and utilize everything else within the Paradisus Punta Cana. The reserve is a very chic, contemporary, neat, cool, trendy, modern style property, which is unlike as soon as you step outside of these boundaries, you're in the traditional European style. The Kids Club here at the Paradisus is one of the best I've ever seen. They actually do have a baby club that provides you diapers, babysitters, baby Gerber, all that kind of thing. So if you have a lot of, for example, babies and kids in your wedding group, I would highly recommend this property. They also have this unique feature called the Family Concierge. So it's so worth it for those with families because they really like to spoil everybody who comes to their property, including the kids. The kids get these mini child robes and free products like kids products, and they have much bigger rooms. So they design their rooms for families. This is like the style of the lobby that I'd mentioned, so very traditional, upscale luxury. And this is, as I'd mentioned, one of my favorite gazebos in Punta Cana. This is their standard room, and this is the view of their gorgeous, beautiful beach. This would be your family concierge room. So you have a private section for mom and dad where they can close off the doors or put the children to bed, and they can still function and watch television in the suite. This is the photograph of the reserve. So again, this is the boutique hotel within Paradisus. As I've mentioned, very chic, modern, sophisticated. Moving on, this is a property that I inspected and stayed at a few years back called the IFA, and I just wanted to throw in that we aren't biased. We do check out all different properties, and this is one I would not recommend. We had insect issues, we had food issues. You know, the quality of the food was not very good. You'd get tang instead of normal orange juice and really watered down drinks, etc. And from everything from cockroaches to massive spiders in the room. They said they had provided us an ocean view room, but there's no such thing because the property is so set back from the beach. It also caters more to the European market, so most of the languages there were, you know, Italian or other. So I just wanted to bring that up to just show that we are unbiased, but this is from our own personal experience, of course. I would only recommend this property if you're on an extremely, extremely tight budget because they do offer great value. All right, the Savory. I wanted to highlight this one because it's not well marketed and well publicized, but it's such a beautiful hidden gem. I would highly recommend this for any honeymooner couple. It is a 5-star luxury resort, very boutique style. They only have one restaurant, but it makes it very quaint in that regard, which serves absolutely phenomenal food. It's a quiet, secluded feel. Just get away from the world. One small pool, but the reason why is because a lot of the villas here have their own plunge pool. The beach is beautiful. It's more quiet. Lobby is it's just so inviting, contemporary. I absolutely love the rooms here. Gorgeous decor. They can actually include helicopter transfers as well from the airport. So it is for your for the luxury if you're seeking that and get away from the world and just get really spoiled with cuisine and service levels. This is where you'd find it at Savory. So this is an example of just their standard room. Very, very expansive, modern, beautiful. And most, this for example is the ocean front, and you can see the plunge pool, and you're just literally steps away from the gorgeous beach. And there's your helicopter transfer with your champagne waiting for you. So indeed, you're considering your honeymoon, consider the Savory, because you're going to have that, definitely the added special quality, special service that you would expect for a honeymoon. Moving on to the Majestic, Colonial, and Elegance. This is a very popular property for wedding groups. They are located a little more north as well in the Arena Gorda. They do offer free wedding packages as well. And the Majestic Colonial is the first property out of the 2 that were built, and then the Elegance. So Majestic Elegance was built right next door. It is a sister property, but they do not offer sharing. So if you stayed at one, you can't go to the other, and vice versa. They're both 5-star. The main difference is the Elegance is more contemporary, and they all have in-suite jacuzzis, and it's newer, but it does cost a little bit more than the Colonial side. Excellent food at both properties here. And just to give you an aerial shot of the resort with the gorgeous expansive white beach, and they also have that gorgeous wedding gazebo here. Here's to show you a map of the Majestic Colonial, very like rectangular, so a lot of the rooms are set back from the beach, which is very common in Punta Cana. Most properties are rectangular going backwards from the beach. The Barcelo would be the only one rectangular perpendicular to the beach. So it's harder to get ocean view or ocean front. But it is possible still. You just have to pay for the upgraded rates. And here's an example of their free wedding packages at the Majestic Colonial and Majestic Elegance, which we can send you as well. And the Dreams Punta Cana. This is going to be my last highly recommended property in the Punta Cana area. For weddings and honeymoons. Dreams is a family-friendly 5-star resort, and any Dreams property, in fact, is definitely one of my highly recommended resorts for wedding groups. Their service is impeccable, food is impeccable, very, very nice rooms. They are eager to please. Again, this is another property that as soon as you get off the bus, you're spoiled. This is also located farther north in Uvero Alto, so much more private beach. This is a shot of the wedding gazebo, and it's centrally located. And as I'd mentioned, most of the properties in Punta Cana have that rectangular with just a smaller ocean front with all the rooms going back. But you can see in this design layout at the Dreams Punta Cana, they've created it so that you're at least all facing the pool or facing the ocean as best possible. And these are just some more shots to show you, you know, just the feel of Dreams Punta Cana. So very, very expansive pools that just swirl around all the buildings, which is great. You can just dip into a pool at any moment you feel like it. And Dreams Punta Cana is one of the only properties that have their own on-site chapel. So this is also ideal for those looking for a Catholic ceremony or just a ceremony in a chapel. All right, so that gives you the rundown of the Punta Cana area. I'll just touch briefly on Cap Cana because it's the new vibe, everybody's talking about Cap Cana. It's just been built. It's a very, very luxury development. It's your Trump investments, your very, very high-end products at this property. This is an aerial shot of Cap Cana being developed. This is, you know, just a lot of the yacht clubs, the Ritz-Carltons, that sort of thing. Gorgeous, expansive, white, sandy, untouched beaches in Cap Cana. And my recommendation here for any honeymooner out of all of Dominican Republic would be the Secret Sanctuary in Cap Cana, because again, it's a new area, it's the new hub, and they've created it as a European flair, and they're to spoil yourselves with luxury, and they are an adult-only property. And these shots just give you just a basic idea, hopefully, to show you how gorgeous their properties are. And I say it for honeymooners because it's adults only, but of course if you have a wedding group with no children, it would also be ideal for those the high-end weddings. All right, so just to wrap things up here, I'll just give you some sample group rates that we've worked on for other wedding groups, brides and grooms. For example, in April, you're looking at approximately $1,700 plus tax at the Dreams Punta Cana. The Barcelo Dominican Beach is a little lower at $1,440 plus tax. And when you book a wedding group, some tour operators and some properties offer you a complimentary passenger. So in this case, you have the Barcelo Dominican Beach offers you the 21st adult free. Majestic Colonial, $1,700 plus tax. The Gran Bahia at $1,580 plus tax. The Ocean Blue, again, one of my favorites for quaint and friendly, $1,480 plus tax. And the Majestic Elegance, the 5-star luxury property at $1,800 plus tax. The Dreams Palm Beach, which we didn't touch on, but it is similar to the Dreams Punta Cana, just a newer property and different, is $1,700 plus tax. So generally, if you keep in mind, if you're considering Punta Cana for either a honeymoon or destination wedding, the approximate budget of around $2,000 will get you everything that you could imagine. So your 4 to 5-star all-inclusive property, including all your airfare, round-trip airport transfers, and 7 nights all-inclusive accommodations, including your meals, some activities and entertainment, and all your beverages. So more information, definitely visit our website if you haven't done so already, which is www.romanticplanet.ca, and there's so much information here. If you click on the weddings button, it'll guide you to so much more information, such as the wedding requirements for the Dominican Republic and other 45 different countries. Resort wedding packages as well are uploaded here from our partners. Free wedding packages, those properties that offer you free. What about if you're thinking of a green wedding? This lists some of the properties that are very eco-friendly and eco-conscious. If you click on the complimentary passengers, it lists the resorts that offer you, for example, 11th adult free or 16th adult free, 21st adult free. So that might influence your decision as well. Family specials, this talks about those properties that offer kids stay and eat free. So if you have many kids in your group, that might influence your decision as well. And then just more information about group travel. If you're looking at booking a honeymoon with us, definitely visit or click on our honeymoons button, because here we have an online searchable engine to search any package from any destination, and they're all live availability and bookable right there. To mention, I should mention that we also have an online honeymoon gift registry. So the unique thing with this is not only can your guests contribute dollar amounts towards your trip, they can actually book value adds. And this includes things such as like a sunset cruise for the bride and groom or a couple's massage, that sort of thing. So it just enhances your honeymoon. So Romantic Planet Vacations, just to give you a summary about our company, we opened in 2004, which makes us Canada's first nationwide specialist in honeymoons and destination weddings. This is all we do. We have assisted over 5,000 couples with their travel arrangements, and we actually get down there and inspect all the properties on your behalf. We're one of the busiest travel agencies in doing this to make sure that your decision is well educated. So we've inspected over 400 resorts in the past 5 years, and 100% of our past customers surveyed say they would book with us again. So that's key to show you our customer service levels are extremely high. We do not charge any service fees whatsoever for group bookings, and we do offer those groups a complimentary wedding website and e-flyer. We're the only travel company in Canada to offer your guests a complimentary online booking to your wedding 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we customize a online booking for your group. 97% of brides and grooms who book with us do receive a complimentary room upgrade at the resort. We focus on that. We work hard at doing that for you, so you get that added bonuses. And we have personal relationships with over 200 wedding coordinators worldwide. We are a small company, but we have a big, big heart. So please do not hesitate to contact us today. We can work out a quote for you for your wedding or your honeymoon or romantic getaway to Dominican Republic, Punta Cana, or any other destination. We'd love to work for you and your guests if you're planning a wedding. So please contact us, and here are our email details. You can definitely befriend us or fan us on Facebook just by searching Romantic Planet Vacations there. We do have a blog. We do have great YouTube videos as well. So I encourage you to contact us, please, and we greatly look forward to hearing from you. Does anybody have any questions while I'm here? You can actually go onto the right-hand panel. There's a section called questions, and you can just type in your questions there, and I can answer them while I'm here for you live. Oh, it looks like we have one question right now. Try and expand this. Okay, thanks, Tamara. I have a question. During the booking phase, are we able to inquire about more than one resort? Absolutely. If you're looking for a destination wedding, basically to get a discounted group rate, you just require a minimum of 10 adults to get that discounted group rate. However, for us to get those rates from our suppliers, it's a process that takes about 7 to 10 days. So we usually try to narrow it down as best as we can to probably about 3 resorts if we can do that on the first round. If that doesn't work for your budget, then we'll start a new second round. But usually about 3 resorts would be our max during our busy time. Are there any other questions? All right, well, my personal email address is lori@romanticplanet.ca, but of course our staff are here and able to answer any of your questions and to quote you on any of your travel needs. Thank you again so much for coming to our presentation. I hope it was helpful, and we have many, many more actually that we've uploaded to YouTube. So when you go onto youtube.com, search Romantic Planet Vacations, and we have other webinars up there, including St. Lucia and Mexico, etc. So feel free to visit us there as well. So thank you very much, and we look forward to hearing from you. Have a great rest of the day.